Today you will learn how to use triggers to animate your characters in real time. This makes the animation process feel as if you were playing a video game. Just press keys on the keyboard and move the mouse, and everything gets recorded. So when you press play, you now have an animation that you created in real time in seconds. This is Mark Diaz, and I'll be showing you how to do all of this step by step. If you want to follow along, open the file 01catgirl that you can find in the provided project files below this video, and it will be this one. And the way we want to animate her is by pressing keys in our keyboard and then having her do actions. So how do we do that? First, have the character selected, and then you open the puppet stage. I click, and this opens the puppet stage. Right now, it's totally empty. How do we fill it out? Very easy. I just go to Content, and I'm going to go to Item, open this, and then open Animation. 2D Motion, I'm going to open it here. And then from this specific example, I want to use Mission Moves. This is a paid pack, so you don't have to use it. You can test this by using motion clips that come with Cartoon Animator, but I just want to do a fighting one. So for this, select this one and then press F, and then that sends me to where it says fight. I'm gonna use this, fight 2L. I click and drag, and now I have my first one. Then I just keep importing more until I have a couple of motion clips for a fight sequence. So now I have these four different shortcuts. Q, W, E, R. Now, I also want to add one other one that I'm gonna find on this one, social emoticons. And it's going to be the dance 01 to L. This will be like celebration for her. Once I have that, I can double click on this and you will see that the preferences show up, or double click again and it hides. You can also show the preferences right here. So double click, and right now this is assigned to Q, but if I want, I can just select that and press X. So now this will be triggered when I press X. Instead, I'm gonna press Q again to leave it as it was. Now, how do we preview it? Right now, we have all of that setting. I just press preview and then press space. And now I can press Q and it does that. It only did it once and then it stops because it's not looping. And then I press W and then she does the kick. And then the E would be the punches. And then R would be the backflip. And then T will be the dance. But it stops, right? So I want to do two things. One, I want to select this one and I want to do a loop. For this, I can click right there and now it's gonna be looping. Instead of playing once, it will loop again and again. The same with the dance. All the other ones will be performed only once. That's one way. Another way is I could scroll down and just have it loop on trigger or play on trigger. If I select, for example, this, the W, this one is on play on trigger, which I can also loop it. There's another way that you can do it so you can control the rhythm, and that is mouse driven. If I select mouse driven, for this one, I'm gonna leave it like that, but let's select the punches. For the punches, I can instead select mouse driven and then press preview, space, and then I'm gonna do the punches, press E, and only when I'm moving the mouse, it's punching. So it's going to do one and then another one and then uppercut. If I go really slow, the movement of the character will also be very slow. But if I move the mouse really fast, it would go really fast or be very slow, right? You can select the speed in which you want this, mouse speed, like faster or slower. And you can also reverse animation. That means I can do, let me press the E and then like that. And then if I go back, it reverses, right? Whoop. And then she can go down. So it can do several uppercuts if I want. So that's pretty cool. Now, I'm just gonna leave it on triggerable. And now I want to show you something else. If I go to this, the active portion, you can see that there's multiple clips that activate the body, but nothing is activating the head. Look, I'm gonna press preview, space, and then whenever I select either of those, and you can see that the clips switch here, but there's nothing for the face. So if I want to add for the face, I'm going to go to displays, to item, but instead of animation, instead of motion, I'm gonna click on face and then open this one. I'm gonna select the G360 and I'm just gonna select all of those 6 and then click and drag into here. Now I have everything ready. I have all the shortcuts all the way to T, but then I don't want to be using Y. I'm gonna adjust this. So in my keyboard, I want all this area all the way to the T, but then I want to use from A, etc., etc. So everything is on this hand and I don't have to move my arm. Alrighty? Let me adjust that in fast forward. Okay, perfect. Now, what if I want any of this? Let me just preview and then press A, and then you can see that she's gonna do this expression and then she's gonna stop. After them, it stopped, right? I don't want that. Instead, I want to select all of these and just click on the loop so the expression keeps running forever and ever. Now, what if I want for her to do the kick and at the same time do this face? Well, all I do is I set both of them for the letter W. Look, first I'm gonna leave it like that. I'm gonna press preview, press space, and then when I press W, it activates this. But because they control different things, I can press W and then F, and then she's doing the happy face, right? And then W, and she's still doing the face, look, while she's doing that. I can do several kicks, and that is playing. But if I want both of them to happen at the same time, I just assign this to letter W. Look, I preview, press W, and both clips get activated. Do you see? That's pretty cool. I'm going to hide this and bring this back to F so I can select whichever expression I want. And I want to do something else. Whenever I press preview and then space, nothing happens in there. So what I can do is I can select this, the fighting pose, as the master. So I'm gonna select it to be the default motion. So whenever I click preview, I press space, she's gonna be in that position. Do you see? So what happens if I do the kick? I press W, boom, and then she returns. This is like a video game. Video games do this. And then I do the punch, boom, and then she returns. And then R, and then she returns. And then T, she does the dance. And then I need to press Q again. And then I press A, and then she changes to this face, right? I'm not doing anything. I just pressed the button once, and that's it. Then I press S, and then D for the different expressions. Then this is happy. Now, one last thing I want to mention is that if you want, you can arrange everything in here. You can select all of this and put it in another position, put it wherever you want. So I'm gonna leave it like this. Now, all of this is really fun, but we can take it to the next level when we add Motion Pilot. In another lesson, we're also going to be adding Motion Cap, but for now, we're going to add Motion Pilot. Let me add it and then open the Motion Pilot settings, and I just want to disable the face cursor. And so I can be moving her like this. Now, of course, she's standing right there, but when I take the kick, I can go a little bit forward, right? So let me preview, and then I can do the kick. Do you see? That's pretty cool. And then for the backflip, I can do this. I'm just moving her with the mouse to the side when I do the backflip. I press R and then whoop. That's pretty cool, right? Maybe when she does the uppercut, she moves forward. Like in video games. And then the kick will move her forward, and then I can go back like this. And that's it. Of course, if you wanted to record, instead of preview, just press record. Now, in the next lesson, we're gonna learn how to add animations by having animated props around the character. Okay, see you in the next lesson.